Hi guys, and welcome to a recruitment special at White & Co. I'm sat here with Rishan Gamage and Daisy Ford-Robertson. These are our two Head of Recruitment and HR. Daisy's been with us 3 months. Rishan's been with us since the start of the journey. We're going to sit down, we're going to go through some of the questions that they might ask new starters. We're going to run through what else they might need to know, and we're going to see what we can work out to make sure that you guys are getting the best experience when joining a real estate company in Dubai.
It's Thursday, baby, bring it over here. The birthday, baby, bring it over here. If it's a work day, baby, bring it over, shut it in the birthday.
So the first question to ask is how do you guys select brokers? You obviously get hundreds of CVs per month. How do you guys select the right people for White & Co?
Right, on a daily basis we do receive quite a lot of CVs, don't we?
Yeah.
The main thing that we obviously look for is someone who knows that it's commission based only. With it being a commission based only job, you need to have that drive, that hunger to want to earn the kind of money that some of the brokers in the office are making. Also, they need a driving license as well. We've had brokers apply before, say they'll take a taxi here and there, but obviously that adds up after a little bit of time. You need to have that driving license. You could turn up to a viewing and then the person cancels. Imagine you got a taxi there, spent 50 dirhams there, 50 dirhams back. It just adds up. So driving license is key. People with a real estate background in Dubai is also helpful. Real estate in the UK is a little bit different, but we obviously provide all the training that you need to kind of adapt to the market in Dubai.
I think it's definitely still like transferable skills.
Yeah, definitely transferable skills in that as well. But just that hunger, desire, that kind of work ethic, be able to fit into the office culture. There's a bit of healthy competition. Everyone kind of likes to be top of the board. We want people that don't kind of sink with the pressure. Just those kind of people, really, to be honest.
So you've told me the kind of people that we need here, but what can they do to stand out?
So I think what people kind of do to stand out, or what makes them stand out, is definitely kind of their drive and their work ethic. You've got people in here that are like first in, last out, just people that have just got exceptional customer service skills, and that goes for anything from the landlord to the tenant as well, from both sides of things. That attentiveness, and also just like the gift of the gab, that also really helps in real estate. That really good like persona. Dressing smart, looking sharp, I think all those things really make a really good agent stand out.
Just that mentality as well, that hunger to be the best. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So obviously if a broker is looking to work in Dubai real estate, there's a lot of good companies out there. There's a lot of companies that we've also learned a lot from. Why would they want to come and work at White & Co? I mean, you've got all these different aspects. You've got incentives, you've got commission structure, you've got office culture, you have training. There's so many different aspects to why they can choose, because if you're going to be a good broker, I certainly believe that you can go to any company. And if you're going to be a good broker, you will be a good broker. But it's where do you want to spend 9 hours, 10 hours of your day? So what do you guys think? Why would they want to work at White & Co?
Oh, you're right, there are a lot of great companies out there which all offer different kind of support systems, different commission structures. I myself have been at 2 different companies before. I remember when I first started, my directors used to tell me the maximum any company can give is 50 to 55% commission. We know that's not true in terms of we offer between 50 to 70% commission. We've got very achievable targets. If you hit that on a quarterly basis, you can increase your commission structure up by 5%. In terms of incentives, we're not just a company which only incentivises their number 1 broker or their number 2 broker. If our company hits target, we'd like to take them out on a monthly incentive for the whole company, but then also on a weekly basis. We like to set our targets as weekly. If you can hit your weekly targets, you know you hit your monthly targets. So we've got targets for our brokers on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and as well to add to that, in terms of like support that we give our agents, like brokers, we've got 3 of the top like sales directors, I'd say in Dubai, which have kind of been handpicked from all of these great companies, other companies that we speak about. So yeah, in terms of support, like they're not brokers anymore. They're here. They are fully here to kind of support you, mentor you on the floor, to really give you that best chance for those guaranteed deal sales going through. So from kind of like start to finish, even after kind of you have the training, there's like, even for the most experienced brokers in here, still utilise our sales directors and get that support, even down to the people that might need a little bit more of a push, a bit more confidence, just even down to the smallest detail. That support that we give our agents, I think, is just next to none. And we've had like the privilege, like I said, of kind of handpicking those great people from other top companies, and obviously created what is White & Co. So yeah, I think that's why people would want to come here, and why I wanted to come here.
Yeah, great. So you've now made that decision to move to Dubai. You've interviewed with company A, B and C, and you've decided that White & Co is right for you. obviously you guys are the people that are going to take care of making sure that that's as smooth a process as possible. Most people that move to us are moving 5,000 miles away from their family, their friends, starting something completely from scratch in a new city. What do you guys do to make that as easy as possible and as smooth as possible?
We have one intake per month. Majority of our staff that we do bring over are usually from the UK. We obviously do take staff over from Dubai already as well. And what we like to do is we do have a company group chat for anyone who's moving over to Dubai from the UK. So what they can do is they can meet some people who are moving over at the same time as them. A lot of people who have come over in the last couple of months, they've seemed to have made friends. Some of them all live together, some of them fly out together. It just makes the process a little bit easier. So it could be a daunting, move over 5,000 miles away from your friends and family. We like to make sure it's as smooth as possible and you're coming over with someone who's in the same boat as you as well.
Yeah, like we definitely encourage them to kind of
to
interact with each other.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, to kind of, I just feel like you said, it is totally daunting, like moving this far away from home. So if you just kind of reassure them that everyone's in the same boat, like even ourselves when we relocated, like all those years ago, like you're not doing this alone, like you're doing it together. I like to touch base with all my candidates that I speak to as well, just kind of check in on them. Some of them obviously working their notice period at home. It's always nice to just kind of see how they're getting on, if they've got their flights booked, and I just feel like to give them that sense of reassurance and just make sure they're feeling comfortable.
We help with finding accommodation, finding rental cars, even little stuff like they're asking us questions on what's the best phone provider and things like that. Always happy to give contacts over from Duet to sell out or Virgin or anything like that. Once they do get over, we do start the visa process straight away for them as well. So then the change of status will happen within the first week, which means they are legal to work in Dubai. And then as soon as the visa is done, we provide everyone with medical insurance and a real estate license as well.
Fantastic. And they don't have to pay for that, do they?
They don't have to pay for that.
Covered by us.
Just checking.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are the pros and cons of living in Dubai? Obviously, you guys have been here a long time. What are the pros and cons of living and working in Dubai?
So I think one of the biggest pros out here is obviously the tax-free earning, for sure.
100%.
You earn is what you get.
Yeah, some of our brokers in here are making more than surgeons, airline pilots, and some of them have only been doing the job for 1 or 2 years as well. The earning potential out here is crazy.
And then I think when you're doing all of that in 365 days of sunshine, it makes a huge difference to that as well. Just obviously people's just,
Their mood is just a lot better. When the weather's sunny, even little things like saying morning in the lifts. I never used to get that back home in London. Every morning here, someone will say happy morning, good morning to you. And then it's just, you just come into the office just happier and you're just ready to work. And the safety, out of the 5.5 years I've been here, I've only had a front door key for 1 year because I know how safe it is.
I've never had a front door key.
Yeah, I've lost my wallet, lost my phone before, and they get handed back in.
It did get voted though, didn't it? I think it was number one. Was it number one? Safest city in the world?
Exactly.
Clean as well, one of the cleanest, safest cities, sunniest cities, for sure.
And as for cons, to be honest, I can't think of many, but it can reach up to 55 degrees, but would you rather that or would you rather be stuck in the rain back home in the UK or anything like that?
The roads can be a bit crazy at first, but to be honest, I quite like it now.
I think once you get in the driving seat, I think you just get used to it as well.
Yeah,
It's when you're in the passenger seat, it's a little bit scarier.
So you decided to work with White & Co, and what does your first month look like in the company or your first week? How does that look for a new broker?
Well, I think what's important is whether they're coming with experience or no experience, especially for those ones that are coming with no real estate experience. You get that 3 days of initial intensive training in our training room. So we've got a special training room where they do an online interactive course. It's designed by yourself, I believe, a White & Co training course. And that's either held by our sales directors or you as well.
Yeah, at the start, and then the sales directors take it over, but in different sections as well. The good thing is it kind of explains the whole process from the very beginning, from when you get out on the floor to the very end of signing the contracts as well. And then what happens is, as soon as they do finish the 3 days of training, we get them out on the sales floor, but we have a separate section for them, so they're all in that kind of area, so they can interact, and then the sales and leasing directors will keep an eye on them, and then we'll move them out into their teams as well.
So just to confirm, in the training, do they just sit and look at their computer for this interactive course, or is there someone in there teaching?
No, there's sales directors, sales directors
right.
in there teaching them. Like I said, it's kind of quizzes, questions, they kind of bounce off each other. Everything to do with like the laws, processes, regulations, things like that. And then of course, like when Rishan says, once they get moved out to the sales floor, phone training. Some people have never been on the phone before. It's as small as that, so phone training, things like that.
A bit of role playing on how to prospect and how to receive a phone call as well. Some people are it's a daunting factor when they're calling someone they don't know. We want to make sure they're comfortable and know exactly what they're speaking about when they do get on the phones, so that they can achieve what they're looking for by picking up listings or receiving the lead as well.
And I think that what's important as well, obviously that's like just their first week, but obviously after that, you're not just kind of like left and kind of like pushed out to try your luck. There's that constant support, that mentorship as well that happens afterwards in people that obviously might need that extra support. So you're just not left to it, there's always that constant support.
And we're always looking at adapting the training course as well. If there's new changes to the regulations and the laws in Dubai, we'll always adapt the training course as well, just to make sure we're fully up to date with that.
Brilliant. So obviously you guys have now been with us, Rishan, you've been with us since the inception of the company. Daisy, you've been with us around about 3 months. What's your personal experiences like in White & Co? We've obviously seen that a lot of people come through the door, which has been down to your help, changed a lot of people's lives. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. So we obviously started in January last year. I remember there was 8 of us in one corner of this big office, and a lot of people probably thought we were a bit crazy, but we knew we had that kind of vision just to grow the company, and we slowly started bringing brokers in, some experienced, some new, but we knew that all the brokers that we brought in would get all the right support. And we're quite lucky to say that we've not actually had a broker leave to join another company. It's always been if the real estate's not really for them. In terms of a lot of our brokers are happy. You could reach out to any of our brokers and ask them the questions of how is it working at White & Co, and that word just spread, I feel, and that's still there.
Yeah, no, fantastic. What about you, Daisy?
Yeah, and whereas for me, obviously I have been at previous real estate companies, also in recruitment, and just you can't really compare the experiences, and not just from kind of the job that I do as a recruiter, but actually my own, like you said, personal experience. Has just been the things that I was even promised, let alone what I was promising kind of candidates and agents, like even kind of for me, like the kind of promises that come through, visa, things like that.
The thing with both of us are we are realists as well. We won't ever sell someone the dream. That's not our intention. I've been a broker myself as well. I know there's days where it might be a little bit difficult, but I know the days that are good kind of outweighs those days. So I'm going to tell everyone the honest truth about what the job's like, what to expect, and then when they come in, it's not a surprise for them. They know exactly what to expect, and I think that's why a lot of people have succeeded, because they know exactly what they're coming into, rather than being told that they're going to earn X amount of money. We can't obviously guarantee it, we could be in a commission-only role, but we will help you get to those figures at some point as well. And that's how we feel.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing with us. We do give that level of support that if you can't perform here under 3 of the top managers, with a company who in its first year has now reached the top 3 in Dubai for all leads, in an office where we've got 100 members of staff who can all bounce off of each other and try and do deals, then going to another brokerage really won't help you anywhere. And that's something I think is a great strength for you, Rishan, because you're not promising people the dream when they come in here. And we give them all the tools to be successful, and we've seen people be successful, but we've also seen people who real estate is not for them, and we shake their hand and we say goodbye and we wish them all the best. But for the people that do stay here and do want to make it work, they will make, like you said, same money as airline pilots, same money as surgeons. I'm not talking about just like your local GP, I'm talking about brain surgeons here.
And also like talking from experience of also like someone, I came from like a previous like real estate company as well, and I was literally kind of conditioned to sell the dream that just did not exist. All the kind of like what we touched on previously, visas, things like that, even RERA, just basic things that as kind of these agents, these kind of candidates are putting their trust in you to come out, and it's literally all on you. And I, like I said, was with a previous company, and it was just awful kind of telling these candidates and leading them up a path that just didn't exist, like this dream just didn't exist. Whereas obviously I've come to White & Co, and now when I'm interviewing candidates, it's like
more passionate about
I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. I believe in like the greatness that is White & Co. They can tell I'm buzzing about it when I'm talking about it, and it's just because obviously even not as a recruiter, just even me being employed by White & Co, that process that I was promised happened. So I know that I can give it to agents, and I'm confident. And like you said, you can kind of speak to, we're very confident that any of the candidates can speak to any of our agents out on the sales floor.
Reach out to any of our brokers, we always say that, and that's sort of confidence you can't buy.
Great staff retention, and obviously I think that speaks like volumes, like our reputation is obviously what's important, and
Fantastic.
yeah, we're doing something right.
Yeah, we are. It's down to you guys, and at the same time, any brokers that are coming over here, and like I said, moving their life over, you guys are there to make the job easier. And since you guys have started, since Rishan's been doing that the whole time, and you joining now, Daisy, it only makes it better for the brokers coming in, because it's stressful enough.
Yeah, and I suppose like with it being two of us as well, like obviously we are taking on people, and there is a lot more agents than before. But and again, like with the sales directors, like the reason we bring more people on, like why there's two of us now, and why we've got 3 of the best sales directors out there, like we don't want to dilute that kind of support that we give our agents. That attention that we give them, just because we're growing in size doesn't mean that we need to dilute those promises. So like I said, as we grow, like there's probably going to be another one of us, and there's probably going to be another
Don't worry, none of you guys are replaceable.
None of us are going.
None of you guys are replaceable, but no, you're absolutely right. Fantastic. Just one last thing to ask. How many of these agents that you do speak to, I just want to know, are promised the dream? And we're not a company that ever badmouths another company. We don't do it. We never have. But is there times when you hear brokers saying, I've been promised this, and this, and you know that Dubai real estate's a small place, but you hear it and you can't turn around and be like, that's lies, because that's not what we're like. But at the same time, you do feel for that person. Is there many candidates that you meet like that?
Yeah, we speak to a lot of people who do say they get promised they're going to earn £100,000 in their first year of being a leasing broker. Don't get me wrong, it could potentially happen if you meet the right client or anything like that, but for it to be guaranteed, we can't guarantee anything as well. Even small things like, I've spoke to candidates before, and they said at the end of the interview, you're the only person that hasn't badmouthed the other companies. And because I know there are other good companies out there, we're not the only good real estate company out there. There are plenty of other good companies. We always say speak to as many companies as possible. When making that move out here, make sure it's the right fit for you. And that's why we're quite confident in what we do. We tell everyone exactly what we offer, and if we are the right fit for you, then welcome on board, and that's what we feel.
So just to confirm, if someone was watching this video right now and they see 70% commission and they see all this other things, just to clarify, we don't bring brokers on, brand new brokers, to the market on 70% commission. But what we do is we do give a path to that 70%. We have a couple of brokers that are sitting on 70% right now. We've got a broker who was a brand new leasing broker last year, who has moved herself from 50% up to 65% last year, and the only reason she missed out on the full one is because she went home at Christmas, which is fine, absolutely. But she's increased her earnings by 15% in 1 year, her first year of Dubai real estate. There are companies, like you guys said, that will promise you the world, but pull up the stats. Don't be scared to turn around to these companies and say, can you show me how you are this level for leads, or where you are in this area, because that's something that we find very important, is the transparency.
And what I think is like so important as well is how kind of achievable the next kind of level is, with obviously like target driven things like that, but there's no grey areas, there's no kind of like empty promises. Like it's a very clear pathway to that success, and like I said, you're not limited, you're not capped on listings or earnings or anything like that, and everyone, the top billers down to kind of the newbies, they're all given the same opportunity to be able to work your way up the ladder and get to that 70%, which is obviously where you want to be.
Nobody in this office gets any sort of preference. And theoretically, if you do start as a new broker, it does take 1 year of being consistently hitting your targets to be a 70% broker, which is probably a higher commission than what maybe some other companies do offer out in the market. We do give you that pathway to do it, and then we'll help you to get there as well.
Fine. Now, other than that, is there anything else you'd like to say? If not, then we just need your email addresses so that we can get in touch with you.
Then it's Thursday, baby, bring it over here. The birthday, baby, bring it over here. If it's a work day, baby, bring it over, shut it in the birthday.